got your message about the meeting being canceled. Yeah.
Hello? Jim? You in here, Jim?
Just a minute. Come on in, Claude. Have a seat. Okay, then I'll see you next Tuesday then. Yep. Okay. Bye-bye.
Well, Jim, it's getting toward the holidays here. We got a lot of things to do today. I guess the live brook, we need to finish that up.
Okay.
We're gonna look at some Christmas trees. We're gonna talk about what good trees are and what we do with them, how we get to Christmas trees.
Okay.
Then there's a party tonight. Bruin and Mother Merrick. I haven't seen them.
They're coming back?
Since they're back.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them. But the party's tonight at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Hey, Jim. Jim, you in there?
I think Ted's Bruin right now, Claude.
Sounds like him.
Yeah. Come on in,
Open the
Bruin.
door.
Bruin knows how to. Well, he's having a little trouble with the knob, I guess, but.
Hey, Jim.
Come in, Bruin.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Bruin.
I'm here again.
I know.
Do I have to do this anymore? How many more days do I have to do
You
this?
have to do this until it's hibernation time, and the way the weather's changing out there, I guess I won't be seeing you much till spring, I guess.
Do I have to come again tomorrow?
If you're not hibernating, you do.
Hey, Claude. How are you? Didn't know you were here today.
Hi, Bruin. I guess we're going to your party tonight. I didn't know, haven't seen you and Mother Merrick's at your ordeal in New York
Oh,
City.
don't talk to me about that. Jim knows all about it. I have to come here all the time.
Yeah.
How was your trip back?
The trip back was terrible. I had to ride in a caboose. Oh, it was terrible.
Wow, what an excellent view from up here. Hey, Bruin, too bad you're handcuffed. You could come up here and check out the view. Well, that's enough of that. Hey, Bruin, you should have checked that view out. I wonder what this is for. Oh, it's all right, Bruin. We're almost there. Hang on.
I didn't mean to do it.
Oh, it's all right. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't know. It could have happened to anybody. She did look like a big old bear.
Yeah, she did. She looked real nice and friendly, too. However, I want to get home. Who's that?
Oh, looks like an officer.
How we doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Hi, I'm Mother Myrick,
I'm Deputy Graney of the Bennington County Sheriff's Department.
and this is Bruin De Bear.
Bruin De Bear.
You come to take me away?
Yes I am. I've got a court order here for take you into my custody and take you back home.
Oh, I can go home now.
Yes you do.
Oh, let's go. I want to go home.
Okay. I'm going to give the court order here to you.
Thank you.
And what we'll do is we'll take him, we'll put him in the cruiser, and we'll take him home.
Okay, good.
Do you have any questions?
I don't think so. What do you think, Bruin?
I have some questions. How are you going to get me home?
Well, we're going to put you in a cruiser and we're going to drive up to your house.
You have four-wheel drive?
Well, we'll get there.
You have a winch?
Now, I don't have a winch, but I'm sure we'll make it.
You know where I live?
Yeah, I do.
Well, let's go. I
Okay.
don't like these things on my arms and my feet.
Okay.
Very nice of you to take them all the way up there. Have you ever been up in Beartown before?
Beartown, it's my home.
No, I've never personally been there, but I've heard about it.
Oh, I feel so much better. Oh, I can't wait to get out of here. I'm not going to the plaza next year.
You're right, you're not.
Oh, that one hurts. Oh my.
Hold still, Bruin.
Almost off.
Oh, I'm free. I'm free. Oh boy. Let's go to Beartown.
Okay.
Watch your head.
I'm going home.
Go on home.
Wait, Bruin, wait for me!
Hold some of your back shit for you.
That's Bruin's book.
That's it. I'll give you your back.
Thank you. Ready?
I'm going home. I'm going home. What American I am going home. Oh boy. Oh, it was terrible. But I'm home, and we're having a party tonight. You coming to the party?
Sure, I'll be there. Are there other people coming?
Yeah, everybody's invited. Everyone, even you people out there in TV land, you're invited too. You coming, Jim?
I'll be there.
Good, good. Well, I've got to go. I got a lot of things to get going and ready for the party because I got to fill my belly up. Because can I hibernate now when I get my belly filled up?
Yeah, and you gotta make your bed.
Yeah,
You got a nice dry spot.
yeah. Well, I've got so many things on my mind. That the whole thing in New York is just, I want to have a party and forget about everything and go and then go hibernate.
Okay,
I'll see you guys tonight then at the party.
yeah.
Bye.
Behave yourself tonight, Bruin.
I will. I most definitely will.
Well, Jim, this time of year with the Christmas trees, where's a good place to find Christmas trees? How do you go about it? What do you look for?
Okay, you're in a lucky spot in the world, Claude. There's no better tree than people can buy in Bennington County. No better tree in the whole world. I mean, we have in contests, in the state contests and the New England contests, a lot of the local growers have won top prize, best in show, best in class, best by species. I mean, the people around here are really come a long way in growing trees. And I guess probably everybody I know in the Northeast knows about Bennington County. So the people here are lucky. They don't have to, they're not going to buy a tree imported from any place else. A tree that's sold here is going to be grown here. It's going to be fresh. So the first thing you don't have to worry about that other people do is buying a fresh tree. If you were down in New York City, that'd be your first concern, to buy a fresh tree.
How many different kinds do they grow here?
I'd say the number one tree is a Fraser fir, the second one's a balsam fir, they're pretty close together. Douglas fir, blue spruce, white spruce, white fir, I guess probably about 7 species, but balsam and Fraser are the two most popular, and white spruce.
And how long does it take to grow a Christmas tree?
I would say most of the people have, they buy a 4-year-old tree that's a little bitty tree about a foot tall, and they grow them about 7 or 8 years. So it's 11 or 12 years old by the time you buy it as a consumer, if you buy a regular 7-foot tree.
And how much work goes into creating the nice
The tree
shaped
that-
tree that we see as
Yeah,
opposed to the Charlie Brown tree?
Well, the Charlie Brown tree didn't take hardly any care, I guess. Probably none. Plant it and forget it, or and then it took a lot less time because shearing the annual shaping of the tree slows down the growth because you're cutting off growth and for bushiness. Starting at waist high, the tree has to be sheared once a year every year. The first time it's sheared, you're probably shearing it in 30 seconds. The last 3 years, as the tree gets bigger, it's just more of the tree to shear, and it's probably taken 2 minutes per tree, and that's once a year every year. Some trees are fertilized. Most trees today are mowed around, and that's on almost every 2 weeks during the summer months. They're mowed around to keep weeds and grasses from coming up around them, and other trees too. So it's a lot of work. It's not all gravy. And
There are areas here where families can go and choose their own,
Yep.
as opposed to being already.
yeah, no matter where you buy your tree, it's probably going to be a locally grown tree. But a lot of people with their families like to get out, especially when the weather's good, to go pick their tree instead of on a lot somewhere, to go pick it and cut it with the family. It's a nice experience, and a lot of the growers are adding other stuff. They have wreaths and maple syrup and bows and decorations and things, trying to make it a nice half a day or a day with the family to go out and pick a tree. Sleigh rides, wagon rides.
Now, how long have people used Christmas trees? I don't really recall in history seeing much about Christmas trees.
There's people going back to when the Egyptians, before Christ, they used to put up a tree in their houses in the winter for the winter solstice, which is, I guess, the 23rd or 24th of December.
The shortest, the least amount of daylight.
Yep. Yeah, and they knew those things, and so there was some kind of celebration, nothing to do with Christ, but with the winter time anyway. And in early Germany, about the time of Martin Luther, I think that's when they started bringing trees into the house for Christmas time. And this song, O Tannenbaum, that was for the fir, that was for the balsam fir tree, and that was the tree they brought in the house in the winter time. That was first bringing Christ in a Christmas tree, bring the tree together. And I think that in the history of the United States, the German Hessian soldiers that came over here in the Revolutionary time, they were the ones that brought the custom to this country. And today I think they're up to 35 million families have a tree, a new tree, a fresh, real tree for Christmas.
Are there any species that are favored over others, either for appearance or maybe needle loss? Or is there any tricks to keeping the needles from dropping?
Yep, I guess they all relate to where you are too. Again, the people in New York have more worries than we would. If you buy a tree here, the first thing that I'd do, if you didn't cut it yourself, or if you brought it home and you were going to put it up a week later, many days later, store it in a cool place outdoors or in your garage or something, someplace that's unheated. Leave it outside until you're going to bring it in, that you want the tree up, and then make a fresh cut on the stump. As soon as that tree is cut and it gets above freezing, the tree will start exuding some sap, and that'll start plugging up the vessels that take up the water naturally. So you want to make a fresh cut on that tree when you're going to bring it in the house, so it can start drinking water right away. And the main thing is to keep water in it every day. You water it every day. It's going to drink that. It'll drink it'll drink 2 quarts a day, a big full 7-foot tree. It'll easily drink that, and you never let it go dry. You just get yourself in that thing and you'll have a nice, safe, green tree as long as you want it.
Is there any thing you would add to the water to help? I've heard you drop a penny in it, it helps.
Well,
I
there's
don't know.
people that, I don't know where all these things come from, and I doubt that they do much good. There's nobody dropping pennies out in the forest, and they do all right out there. I think they need water. They don't recognize, I don't see how anything besides water could help it, and if it didn't hurt it too bad, I guess that'd be all right too. But people have vinegar and everything under the sun, but mainly just water it every day. And if you get in the habit, it's one person's responsibility at 7 o'clock every morning to water that tree. They'll have the nicest, freshest, and they won't drop a needle until probably gonna move it at the end. But there's no reason for a tree in Vermont to lose a needle.
Well, maybe we should.
Oh, let me give you this, Claude. This is, we have 9 local growers, and this is a location, their tree farm. It's got a map in there where they're at, what kind of trees they sell, their hours. There's no prices on that because that kind of changes from time to time, but those are the best growers in our area that are on that list that got together and made this brochure for people, and they can pick that up at the Bennington County Chamber, or the Bennington Area Chamber of Commerce in Northside Drive.
Well, there's a lot of information to do with trees and everything. Here's a publication that any of us connected with the forest are familiar with. It's relatively new, I guess, in the past 2 years, and a lot of good information about the Vermont Forests in there. There's quite an interesting editorial in the Rutland Herald. I brought it in here somewhere.
Here, so I was going to make a copy. Just push the set. Okay.
This was on Monday, November 25th. Trees are equal. Questions about forest cutting or trail making, even the problems with acid rain on our maples, are all irrelevant to the fact that human beings have treated trees as inferior entities for too long. It is time that we stopped this discrimination and started treating trees with the respect and equality to which they are entitled. Our very language illustrates how we demean trees. For instance, there is the phrase, "out of the woods." When we have cleared a major obstacle or when we have solved a particular problem, we say, "We're out of the woods and in the clear." Now consider how that utterance belittles trees. How would you like it if you were a tree and people constantly referred to you as an obstacle, a hindrance, or a problem? Wouldn't you feel unfairly shamed, especially if you yourself had done nothing wrong, but were treated unfavorably in comparison to whatever was in the clear? Then again, there is the saying, "You can't see the forest for the trees." How humiliating this must be for trees which, through no fault of their own, are treated as if they were obscuring some legitimate truth. It is this kind of discrimination, reflected in the casual conversations of everyday life, that is the worst kind of discrimination. Robert Frost wrote about the woods on a snowy evening. We may, if we like, take his remark about the owner being away in the village as a veiled criticism of an owner who left his trees out in the cold and forsook them for the warmth of village comfort. But then Frost himself turns his back on the woods and heads off. "I have promises to keep," he declares, without a thought as to whether the trees might well have expected him to make some definite promises to them. Definitely, they are treated with a casual indifference that is, from the standpoint of trees, appalling. It is true that Joyce Kilmer wrote, "I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree." At first glance, that may sound like high praise of at least one tree. He is not specific as to whether he's talking about a certain tree in his backyard or about all trees in general. But even if he thought he was praising all trees, he allowed his unconscious bias to creep in. When you consider how awful some poems are, you can understand that a tree would be very likely to be skeptical of the value of such a comparison. Kelmer's observation that poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree, poses a theological question that has no place in a treatise on tree discrimination, since some would argue that God can make a poem as well as a poet and a tree. What can be done to end this pine prejudice, this birch bias? At the very least, the legislature should create a commission on fairness to trees. Perhaps an amendment to the state constitution banning use of such phrases as "out of the woods" would be in order. Beyond all doubt, it is time that we started practicing LC, which is short for Logenius correctness.
Sounds like a slow news day, huh?
Yeah, that's makes us more aware of our trees from a different aspect. Well, we should get on the road here.
We gotta gather up some stuff for the party, don't we? Some nuts
Yeah.
and stuff, and
We've got to get our food, and I'm going to, I guess anyone that doesn't know their way to the party, I'll meet them later this afternoon by the big oak tree.
okay.
And,
We're gonna get some acorns anyway, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I can lead them on to the party.
okay. There gonna be any squirrels there, Claude?
There should be.
Red squirrels? We've got plenty of pine cones out here
Okay.
to bring. Well, here's a pine cone, Claude, but the squirrels already got to it. Nothing left
What's
but
there?
Yeah.
You were in Washington. Now, how was your trip down there?
Great. We stopped by the Capitol and to see the national Christmas tree for this year, and they were just getting ready to put it up. It came from Utah or Idaho, one of those places anyway.
Was it, what, 2 years ago it came from?
Yeah, 1994 it came from Vermont. Yeah.
Good King Wenceslas looked down on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when the poor man came inside, gathering with the few.
It all started in the spring of 1994 when a few brave souls slogged through the woods and streams near Somerset Reservoir in the Green Mountain National Forest to help Paul Pincus, the Capitol architect, select a tree that this year would grace the lawn at the Capitol in Washington, D.C.
Bring me flesh and bring me wine, bring me pine or timber, thou and I shall see him dine when we bear a river.
But those that did continue the trip got the first glimpse of a beautiful 60-foot balsam that was to make the great adventure to the Capitol.
Must be kind of tricky harvesting one of those trees and not damaging it.
Well, there's been people that have been kind of embarrassed when they have the whole country watching. Things really didn't go right, but
Hey, Bill, it's got to be an unbelievable honor to cut down this tree. How do you feel about it?
Well, I really feel that it is an honor, and I just am proud to represent the community and the group, and just really feel thrilled to be able to follow the tree back to D.C. and be a part of a Christmas tree for the whole United States. It's a dream that I thought about since I first heard that they were going to do it, and I'm really pleased.
I imagine you've cut down an awful lot of trees, but none of them are going to be as important as this one.
No, I've sawed for several years. I don't saw now. I have a logging crew, but I turned that over to the younger ones. But this is the highlight tree. I was telling my wife this morning we felled some in town where we could hit a $100,000 house, and I'm not as nervous then as I am this morning.
Well, what's the process? How are you going to get it down without it breaking a lot of limbs whenever it comes down?
We're going to put a line in it, and we'll set our apprentice loader and run a block off of the grapple on that, the bucket, and cross haul it down with a crew cab truck and hopefully lower it down slow enough that we won't break the limbs.
You've seen the Vermont one that went right and the one that from Montana or someplace that didn't go so right? Or?
Well, there's always a right way and a wrong way,
Yeah,
and sometimes some other people's ways in between there.
yeah. Should we show the people why the squirrels like those things, Claude?
Yeah.
This is a cone, and inside every one of these little parts of the cone there's 2 seeds. Up, up. Oh. Wow, do you see that? Do you see it go? I mean, as soon as you hit it, I had 2 of them out here on the table, and they just flew away, but that's showing something about how they move, worst place to land is right underneath your parents. There you go. Dropping them. Okay, let me have a few more. There's another one. We can get one with a wing on it. Now, these are potential little white pine trees. There's the seed. And the only part we're not getting with the seed is is the wing that goes with it. And the wing is the thing after when the cone is 60 or 70 feet in the air and it opens up the seed and a wing drops out and it looks just like the wing on a maple tree with the seed at the bottom, and its whole purpose is to get it out from underneath its parents. The worst place in the world to try to grow is underneath your parent. So that propels it through the air, and on a windy day like today, as soon as we expose that ones with the wings still attached, I get them on the table and they took right off. That's what we're looking for. And everybody, I think most people recognize that coming off a maple tree. Yep. And we'll just, I don't know if they can get that on film, but gone. The seeds are really formed every few years on a tree, so a tree might produce 1 million seeds in its lifetime, and its all job is to really reproduce. If it's going to reproduce another tree like itself, I guess it did its job. So the animals...
Will our friends eat these also?
Oh yeah, the maple seeds, they'll love those. Most seeds have got a lot of fat in them. Oils that make fat, and that's what animals need in the winter, is a good source of fat to make fat, I guess.
Now,
My hands are going to freeze there, Claude.
Of our friends, what ones
oh, you know what we can
hibernate?
Get? Chipmunks.
Chipmunks, woodchucks,
bears, yeah, all the little reptiles, snakes, frogs, toads. They're probably already gone. They won't be there tonight.
But let's see, hedgehog, a porcupine does not.
No, they're out wandering. You've seen them all.
And a beaver?
Beaver does not.
Does not.
No. They'll be out. I mean, they'll go to sleep, but they'll be swimming underwater, but we won't see them. They won't come above the ice. I don't think.
And then the reptiles, you can call that a hibernation?
That's a real one, yeah. They're down and you'll never see them.
But some of them go where their actual body temperature is below freezing, and yet they
don't freeze.
They make some sort of an antifreeze.
That's another, for another show, we're going to do one on how trees get ready for winter. They just don't go from summer to winter without some changes, and some dramatic changes too. We've got a walnut tree over here. Walnut would be a real neat tree for the party. That's one with the outside still. Yeah.
It kind of hurt if it hit you on the head.
Yes, it would. Well, that would be real good food for winter time. Here's some that somebody's brought them here and gone through them. Everything, and all there is the husk left. So that came a long way. Oh, there's a, yeah. There's a long.
Ate that one up,
Yeah.
and then brought a kernel of corn along, whoever.
Must be a
Was
bird.
eating
I
it.
don't know where there's the inside of with all the meat gone of the walnut. I think if we had a walnut for everybody, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Another one. That's
Yeah.
the way they open one. We open a walnut, we split it in half, and then take those pieces out toward the center, and they take them out from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So those sharp little teeth chewed that up. Now they would have taken the meat to store it, where they could have eaten it on site. Depend, but don't they? They'll
Yeah.
take it with them sometimes.
Yeah. That was one of the rodents. Chipmunk or red squirrel. Maybe even a mouse. They could get in there too, I guess.
Are these the black walnut trees?
Yeah. That's the prize.
That's the prized
lumber.
lumber.
That's what the desk is made out of. It's got it's a coating of walnut.
And are they native to Vermont?
No, they're all imported. Just a little bit south of Albany in their natural range. They grow very well here. They're just not weren't here. But you're not going to move very fast here to have a heavy seed like that compared to that seed of those spruces.
The wind doesn't blow that very far.
No.
This switchback here, in order to get the engine and the coal car and 9 other cars, it's probably another 600 or 700 feet of track bed that went out to the end of the switchback. In order to get the whole train out there off the track it had come in on, so that the switch could be thrown and it go down the other track.
Well, we're getting close to being one track now, Claude.
Well, Jim, we're walking down from the upper switchback. We're just about to the truck road. It was used here probably in the 40s and 50s. It disrupted the railroad bed a little bit right here. I'm going to just slide down off of it into the truck road.
The railroad's awful disguised, isn't
It is.
it? And how would anybody ever know there's a railroad track? You see a railroad track right there.
Center of the railroad. Probably right through here. No matter how much you move, don't have enough imagination to see there's one there. And this was a truck road for log trucks. The Sweezy Lumber Company used
Trucks were
it.
much smaller back those days.
A lot smaller. Haul a load about 1/3 the size it's hauled today. That road probably had some grades in it. Maybe would hit 20% on occasion. Would you think?
Mm-hmm. The road's in beautiful shape still.
It's a
isn't
good
it?
road. A lot
Yeah.
of nice drainage structures were in it.
Yeah, it makes a great hiking trail today.
And here's the railroad grade that goes to the falls. There's a sign that tells us we're going to the falls.
10 minutes, it says. Somebody scratched down here. We're back on the switchback again. Heading downhill.
Headed downhill. Well, Jim, we're still headed downhill between the two switchbacks.
I think I can hear the falls in front of us, Bob.
Yeah, sounds like water. Here's a lot of the old ties, ones that weren't picked up. Got some holes in them, the spikes. Here's a spike. Here's the hole. It would have gone this way. Of the track.
Yeah.
Or that way.
Oh, the
There's a
hole's
hole
on-
in that tie.
Yeah, mine dried up.
There's one in that one. Still pretty firm.
Well, you wonder how many people walk over these and they're just think they're logs that fell on the road.
Quite a pattern there.
Well, when they left to pile them together, didn't they?
Down below us, between here and the brook, is the first leg of the railroad coming up.
Yeah.
Can't be that far below us, but I don't see anything, any sign of it from here. And if it's not used as a path even like this, very easy, if there isn't a lot of side cut, to miss it.
It's a lot easier to see it when it's above you, when you're looking up, because you can see that man-made wall of debris, rocks and debris.
About 200 feet from the fall, this is the first place I've seen where there's actually a full cut situation.
Yeah. The only place I ever remember it's like this.
Pretty well
Different hard
fit
truck.
on the ground.
Yeah.
There's a cut here, maybe 6 feet.
6 feet anyway.
Up ahead here looks like some real good sized white birch trees.
Right in the middle of the road.
Right in the middle of the railroad, and they're 16 inch, 18 inch. Here's more railroad ties right through here. Here's one of the trees, right in the middle of what railroad tracks were.
On one rail, you're on the other, probably.
It's about a 13-inch tree. Another railroad tie. This birch up here looks even bigger.
15.
Right in the middle of the railroad. 15 inch, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'll throw my tape measure away. 15-inch white birch.
Safe though.
Well, it's starting to get dark. Gotta hurry up and get to the party. Here's a big oak. I wonder if anybody's gonna meet me. You know, all you people out there are all invited to the party. You gotta come here so you can be shown how to get there. Oh, here comes somebody. Good, you're going to the party with me. Here comes some more. Oh, we're gonna have a lot of people.
Well, more people coming.
Okay, is everybody ready? We've got a long walk, a lot of ways to go. It's going to be hard going in the snow. Okay.
Mom, not fishy. Nicholas, you're going the wrong way.
Stay right close to me so no one gets lost.
No, not tomorrow.
Everybody still with me?
Yes.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
almost there. Look. See the cabin?
Yeah, I see it.
There, that's where we're going. Just a little bit farther.
Let's go. Ow. Oh.
We finally made it.
Yeah.
If anybody's home here.
Oh my goodness.
Hi.
Well, hello. Hi, everybody.
You told me to invite everybody I could find.
Yeah, right. Well, come on in.
Do we have everybody? Did everybody make it?
Oh, we have some more.
Down inside.
Well, Claude, where did you find all these guys?
Well, I just invited out of the clear blue and people started coming.
Wonderful. Well, come on in, everybody. Thank you. Look, Bruin, say thank you.
Thank you. Oh, present time. Oh boy.
Thank you.
Have a seat. Oh boy, this is the part of the parties I like.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh boy. Mother Mary, this looks like a lot of stuff.
Wow, my. Look at all these.
Oh boy, what do you think's in that one? A lot of pickled fish, I bet. Honey? Maybe honey?
Thank you, Warren.
Oh boy, it looks like it might be a sweater in there. Just what I need, a sweater.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Hey, well, hey, thank you everybody.
You're welcome, Bruin. Welcome, Bruin. You're welcome, Bruin.
Boy, Mother Mary, this was a great idea.
Bruin, you've got a package here from Miss Linda with a card. Would you like me to read it for everybody?
Oh, Miss Linda?
Yes.
Miss Linda sent me a present.
She sure did.
Uh-oh. I wonder what it is. It's not another subpoena, is it?
No, it doesn't look like it. It says, Dear Bruin, I'm sorry I
She
couldn't
called me
make it-
dear? Oh, boy.
I'm sorry I couldn't make it to your Christmas party. I'm so sorry for the trouble I caused you in New York City. You are really a very nice bear.
She
Very
likes me?
Handsome, too.
Handsome?
Yes, handsome, see? Hope to see you in January when I come to Vermont to ski if you're awake. Affectionately, Ms. Linda.
Affectionately? She's coming skiing?
Yes.
She's gonna see me when she comes skiing? Maybe I won't hibernate.
No,
But I
let's see
told
what she
Jim I
got
would.
you. She got you burnt sugar caramel.
Burnt sugar caramel?
That true West Indian taste.
And skiing, huh?
She got you snails.
Snails? With caramel, burnt caramel on it?
Oh, yeah.
Favorite thing. What else? What else? What else?
Ah, chestnuts.
Chestnuts.
Whole chestnuts. You like chestnuts, don't you, Bruin?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And some huckleberry filling.
Huckleberry.
From Bear Creek Fisheries.
Bear Creek Fisheries? That's owned by my cousin.
And salmon. Canned salmon.
I haven't had salmon for a long time.
Of course you haven't had salmon for a long time.
Miss Linda gave me all of this,
Miss Linda must
and she's
really
coming to see me.
like you.
She's coming to see me for skiing. Oh boy. Hey, I don't know if I can know how to ski though. Hi everybody.
Hi.
You hungry for some fudge?
Yeah.
Hey, who are all these nuts we have at the table here? What are all these animals?
one. This one. Hey, there's a bear. There's a male bear.
See, there's my friend Bucky. Hi, Bucky Bear, dear.
Hi, Bruin.
And we even have a monkey here. How did the monkey get in here? And look at this, we have a fur-bearing fish over here. Wow.
Ouch. Nicholas, can I be that thing? No. Burn, eat the nuts.
Well, I hope everyone's having a good or a Christmas party.
Yeah. Eat the nut, Burn, eat the nut.
Yeah.
You forgot this stuff.
Oh boy. I dropped it. Oh.
You forgot the
Oh, that tastes good.
the bear, you forgot your bear.
Yeah, bears eat nuts. I understand there's some fudge for you guys, though. Does everybody like fudge?
Yeah, good attacks.
Hi there, Kayla. How are you?
Hi.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Yeah. Mother Merrick, do you have some fudge for everybody?
Yeah.
I hope so. It's a little soft. I can't get it out of the pan.
Mother Myrick. Shut up, yes.
Is that your new recipe?
That's not my
Ow! I kiss Burn.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bruce, yeah, I made the fudge. Good fudge, isn't it?
Mom, it is. I haven't seen it for a video for a minute. You've never seen them. I know.
Sorry,
Yeah, you put a nut. Give me and Michaela little pieces. Look at I did the bird. Look at I did. I would have liked a bigger.
Oh boy, look at that. All my favorite things. There's that fish again. A fur-bearing fish. Tickles my mouth when I eat it.
I gave you a nut in there.
I know. Thank you.
It's not comfortable, but take it out. Please don't let me. Someone's got to get off. It feels better. What?
Thanks for the hug.
You're welcome. This is how I'm holding mine.
Hi, Tanner. Hi, Kayla. How are you?
Good. I don't like being scorched.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to the party.
Would you like some fudge? Yes. He's tired.
Hey, Michael. Hi, Michael. How are you? Thanks for coming to the party. Yeah.
Are you getting scared, Michael? You're like, yeah.
Hey, Mara. How are you? Thanks for coming to the party.
He was on my shoulder. Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Don't be rude. Don't be rude.
Well, everybody have some fudge and enjoy the party.
I won't.
Oh, I bet you will.
I have some more. No, man. You can scratch my lunch. Give it to Mark. Turkey.
He will definitely be happy for it.
Hey, did everybody see the family pictures I brought? Except for this turkey. I don't think we have any of the turkey relatives in this one.
They're on the table.
Here, I'll get him.
Hey, Mother Mary, could you get me the pictures?
Certainly, Brian. Around Tom here.
Yeah, Tom, we always fool with Tom, poor Tom. He's the brunt of all the jokes.
You want me just to hold them up so everyone can see?
Well, sure. Who's that? There's grandmother. Yeah, I remember grandmother.
This one. About the baby guy.
Oh, yeah, that's the baby. He should be over at the party, though.
And this looks like your grandfather?
Mm-hmm. That's old Grizzly himself.
I'm not sure who this one is. Do you remember?
Well, let me see. Well, I don't. Anybody else know who that is? I think that someone just left off their picture.
And this one? Your
Let's
brother,
see.
isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Is that my brother? Yeah, I think it is. Oh, that's George. Yeah, good old George.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Here's you when you caught your first fish.
Yeah, I remember that. That wasn't any of those fur-bearing fish, though.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. That was a good one. That was a big one. It was tasty, too. It was a salmon.
I want to see some.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that bear doing?
Your sister maybe?
Let's see. Yeah, I think that's who that is. That's my sister, yeah.
Oh.
We got the whole bear family here.
Who's this one?
Anybody remember who that one is?
I think it's your dad.
That's our dad? It might be, yeah.
Great Uncle George.
Hey, who's this one? Do you know that one?
Great Uncle George. That's Great Uncle George. It's a cub.
That's the cub?
It's him. Yeah, baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the one when he was a baby?
Yeah, that was George when he was a baby.
No, that was me.
Who's this one?
I think it's Mom.
Yeah, what's Mom got in her mouth there? She got a fish, too?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the day she was teaching me how to fish. Yeah.
I think that day was fun.
Oh, I like that when I get scratched on my head. Oh, boy, does that feel good.
It's Dad.
Think so?
No,
Maybe that's Grandpa?
That's
Swimming?
Grandpa.
Fishing?
That's Grandpa.
That's Grandpa.
Yes. Hey, that's Grandpa.
That's Grandpa.
And one more.
Me?
Oh, who's this in the tree?
Great Uncle
Smokey?
It's Bruin.
I think that's Bruin. That might be Smokey the Bear in the tree.
Yeah, I think that's who it is, yeah.
I think it's you, Bruin.
Oh, I think that's Smokey.
This guy.
That's it.
Well, boy, was that fun. It's always fun to look at old family pictures, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm gonna get
Except for old Tom the turkey here.
Hey, did you eat him one day? Yeah.
In appreciation for all the help and all the fun we've had this year with Vermont Forests, have a little something I'd like to give the important people who have made this all possible. Mother Merrick, thank you very much for your
Thank you.
assistance and showing up at a moment's notice and all the fun things and unusual things. And if I ever need a log truck driver, you'll be the first person I call.
Thanks, Claude.
We have something for Bruin. This is
Fish sauce. Oh, boy, do I like that. Oh, thank you, Claude.
all the way from Bangkok, Thailand.
Oh, boy.
Thank
I'm
you
going to
for-
enjoy this. I know I will. Thanks, Claude.
Thanks for being a good sport.
If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be on TV.
And a special thanks to Jim White, the Bennington County Forester, who was unable to come today. Maybe the weather's a little bit too rough. Is there someone here that can accept the present for him? Oh, here comes someone.
Claude? I don't know what his name is, but...
Well, if you can remember, relay this to Jim that we all like his technical assistance on forestry matters and his good humor and
We tried to get the closest likeness of Jim, and this is the one that we came up with, so...
oh, okay. Well, pass that on to Jim. We
Will do.
appreciate him very much. We have another person that's only been with us once and was unable to be here to the party today. Ms. Linda. And Mother Merrick, could you see that she gets
Absolutely.
this at some time?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, Linda was a big help on the last one we had. It's too bad she's not here today.
And we have one more here for the person you people don't see, Al Jacoty, who this whole thing would not be possible if it weren't for him. The technical assistance and everything else, and the good humor, and a good friend, and we really, really appreciate him. Everyone does.
I'll try. It's hard to come out behind the camera and do the camera at the same time.
There. Well, Merry Christmas, Al.
Well, Merry Christmas
Thank you
to
very
you
much
too.
for everything.
Well, thank you. Enjoy the show. I don't think I was on camera.
We'll find out.
Is that it?
That's it. I
Do you
guess
have
that
something else to
concludes-
say?
That concludes our Christmas party, and we plan on doing a lot more shows, and we'd appreciate anyone's comments of what we're doing right or wrong, or what you'd like to see. We can always use ideas,
Always.
and if they're a little bit wacky, they'll complement the ones we have.
No wackier than you.
That's where we're going, just a little bit farther.
Let's go. Ow. Just so that you all know, I am fully insured. So, if I fall off, please take me to the hospital.
Yeah, it gets a little chilly on the way home.
Back to work now. Now I can do real work.
Yeah, right.
Oh, go for another ride. This is a lot of fun. We're going home, 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 home. We're going home, home. Oh, almost fell out. Oh, this is a lot of fun. Careful of the bumps. Oh boy. Ah.
Jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Watch, it's gonna get down here. I'm gonna say, hey, you gotta do it over again because you had your raincoat on.
Well, I think the raincoat